What is up, everyone? It's been a while. It's been a couple weeks since I've posted anything. We'll get into that, but first, a brief intro to what we're looking at. I've been wanting to do some more practice with my Hemi gouache lately, and I also wanted to fill another spread in the sketchbook I have specifically for the channel, so I decided to kill two birds with one stone and film these little studies I did from pictures on Pinterest. Are they my favorite paintings? No, not really, but I had a lot of fun doing them. I've been working digitally a lot lately for a little project I'll hopefully be able to show you guys if my footage comes out decent, but yeah, I needed to take a break from digital work and do something different to keep my morale up, so this was a great little exercise. I really let my hair down with these practice pieces and gave absolutely no regard to brush technique or keeping my palette clean and tidy. Like, literally, I was mixing my paints in the little cups. I didn't even use a palette. So I tried to make it a point to not get my gouache set in the picture because I feel like it would have made some of y'all scream in horror. I may have hurt some of my brushes and potentially ruined my gouache set, but at least it was a good time. It's been a minute since I've actually used gouache on its own though, so I was struggling quite a bit with this first piece. I had forgotten how thin gouache goes on with that first layer, and honestly I was over it pretty quickly, so you'll probably notice me using huge globs of paint and it was a mess, y'all, but it was a liberating mess. I really like the colors I initially used on this piece. I'm a huge fan of pinks and blues and purples all together, and my only complaint about the finished product are the cloud and the yellow bits in the mountains that I ended up with. I didn't realize just how much the paint I used on the cloud was going to reactivate and blend with the gouache underneath. So yeah, that was a bummer, but did we learn something? Yes, we did. As for the mountains, I think the yellow was a bit too dark and out of place for the rest of the piece, but it happened, it's there, and yet again, it was a learning experience. I'm kind of tempted to try this color scheme again once I get more experience with gouache because, like I said, I really like it, especially with how vibrant the Hemi colors are. And with that out of the way, time to explain myself and why I've skipped out on 2 weeks of videos. Long story short, I just needed a break. I was getting a little burned out filming every week. As you might know from previous videos, I do have a full-time job, and I felt like I was spending a huge chunk of my days off filming and putting videos together. I was starting to feel like I couldn't do low pressure just for fun art because everything I needed to do needed to be video worthy, and I've been down that road before with commission work, so I decided I needed to take a step back and reassess things, maybe change some things up to take care of myself and my feelings toward creating because I did not want to venture down that path again. I've been fairly active on Instagram with sketches and smaller works during my little YouTube hiatus, and I think taking that break was a good decision because I got my creative juices flowing again, which is a huge relief. All that being said, I came to the realization that putting out a video every week, at least for the foreseeable future, just isn't feasible for me. I think I saw other YouTubers doing it without taking into account that for many of them, art is their job, so they have more time to produce stuff like this, and for my particular situation, it's best to give myself some breathing room, some downtime, and perhaps taking my upload schedule down to 2 or 3 videos a month just so I have more time to do chill out art and not have everything to be a video quality art. It was actually really hard for me to let go of the idea that I need to post every week, and I could feel that pressure putting up a mental block around my creativity. And y'all, once I accepted that my life obligations just don't allow for that and that I needed to be kind and patient with myself, it felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. So yeah, that's where we're at now. Instead of sticking to a strict schedule, from here on out, I'm just going to aim for 2 to 3 videos a month and just upload on a when I have time basis just to keep things low pressure and hopefully churn out better quality stuff as a result. I'm feeling pretty optimistic about it, so yeah, we'll see how this ends up working out for the channel. So since it's been a few months since I first opened up this gouache set, I thought I'd give a little update on how it's holding up. Honestly, not too well, but I'm pretty sure that's mostly my fault. When I pulled this set out to do these studies, I realized that the lid wasn't fully secured and it'd been sitting like that for weeks. So when I opened it up, a few of the paints had dried up so much that they'd begun to shrink in their little cups. I managed to reactivate the majority of the paints with some water, but when it came to the ones that had shriveled up, I wasn't able to get them at all gooey. Most of the paints absorbed the water, but those particular ones just wouldn't, and the water would just pull up at the bottom of the pans. I was able to get the paint to mix with the water a little once it pulled up like that, but yeah, I don't think those ones are ever going to be as juicy as they were before. They are pretty much colorful rocks at this point. Luckily, I was able to scrub enough paint off of them to mix with other colors, but I don't know how long that's going to last. I made sure the lid is secured this time when I put them up, but I don't think some of those paints are going to be usable for very much longer. But I can't fault the brand for that because it was totally my bad, and it's a good thing they're cheap paints or I'd be so annoyed with myself, but still a bummer. Maybe I can use that as motivation to get some more practice in with them before they kick the bucket, so we shall see. So, at this point in the study session, I was getting a little tired, so my painting got even more loose and sloppy, but you know what, I dig it. I wasn't too bothered by it at all because I like the loose look in my sketches as well, so I was just like, whatever. I'm just gonna go ham and do whatever I feel like, and that's a great feeling when you're doing something creative. Also, you probably saw earlier that I was experimenting with some other mediums over gouache. I've used gel pen over gouache before and really liked the result. This time I wanted to see how colored pencil would look, but I didn't have any nearby, so I grabbed a coal erase since it's basically a colored pencil. It came out pretty light, but still it was decent. Definitely want to try again with bolder colors. My white posca pen worked out pretty well, which was great because the white gouache was just mixing with whatever was beneath it. So now I know if I want more opaque highlights on gouache, posca is the way to go. I also tried out alcohol marker over the paint, which was the spookiest of them all because I was afraid the paint would pick up and ruin the nib. It didn't, although it might have if I kept using it, but the marker didn't seem to show up too well on it, so I just quit. I think that might have been a texture thing, it just couldn't really grab onto the paint, but that's good to know for future pieces. As far as the pieces themselves, I like how all of them came out. While they aren't masterpieces, I enjoy looking at them and appreciate them for what they are. Just fun practice. The last piece is probably my favorite just because that's the one I was most loose with and I really enjoyed the colors I used for it. All in all, I quite like the spread and I think it's a good little addition to our channel sketchbook. Anyways, I think I'm going to leave y'all here to watch the rest of the footage in peace. I hope you all enjoyed the video in spite of the erratic focus issue, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like or a comment and subscribe for more if you haven't already. Thank you for watching and I'll see you all in the next one.